Hello. Good morning, everyone. My name is Veronica Hernandez. I'm one of the pharmacy supervisors here at DHR Hospital. Just a reminder, this is a live segment where you will have the opportunity to ask questions. I will answer questions after I share with you a little bit about myself and my career here at DHR Health. Feel free to submit any questions you may have throughout the presentation. You can submit those by scanning the QR code on the screen or by going to www.menti.com and using the access code 53133911. I'm going to talk a little bit about myself. I've been a pharmacy technician for a little bit over 17 years. Born and raised in Palmview, Texas. I lived there all my life. I graduated from La Jolla High School. After that, I attended San Antonio College and medical assistant for my pharmacy technician certificate. It took me maybe around a year and a half to complete the course. What took me to, pursue this profession was I loved math and chemistry and all that good stuff. I wanted to be in the health profession. I just wasn't too sure if, what to get. So I was like, okay, I'll go for pharmacy. Once I decided to take that, it was like the best decision I ever took. We interact with doctors, nurses, students, community. So I really loved it, and I'm real happy, I made that decision. Being a pharmacy tech, a pharmacy supervisor now, it's very challenging, but it's it's great. We take care of patients, we label meds, we help doctors, nurses with all the questions that they have. We compound, we refill Pyxis machines, we do crash cards. Customer service is a biggie here. It's we have to be very polite. We have to be, present ourselves when we answer the phone calls, like pharmacy, this is Veronica, how can I help you? There's many things, being a pharmacy tech, but if you like math, chemistry, all that good stuff, this would be, a great place that you could, or a good profession that you could pursue. Let me see so a day in my shoes as a pharmacy technician and pharmacy supervisor. The moment we come in to the pharmacy, we come with that mentality. It's, work, let's save some lives, let's see what we could do. At the pharmacy, there's always something to do, such as we have different shifts. We help with like delivering, phone calls, crash cards, post-op trays. We assist clinics with medications that they're needing. Right now, we're doing the COVID vaccination. We wear many hats. As a supervisor, we have to know every duty and every shift so that when a technician comes up to you and has any questions, we're able to answer them. We're able to show them. We're able to educate them on any questions that they have, or maybe a nurse calls or a doctor calls, and sometimes, they have a little issue being able to respond or solve those problems. So a supervisor always comes in there to assist in all of that. I have some slides that I would like to show you all on some of like the duties and some of the work that we do as a pharmacy technician. The first one would be the adult med crash cards and the adult IV crash cards. Those we use them when there's a patient very ill, very critical. They're having to do resuscitate and all that stuff. So we have the two crash cards. There's a med tray and an IV tray. They come daily. Every time they come to the pharmacy, we have to take care of like cleaning them. We have to take care of making sure those trays are being replenished, and all the meds are in there. Once they're done, we seal them and we send them back into the units. The second slide, I'm going to show you, it's the StatStock. The StatStock is a new system that we're using to refill all of our trays. We use them to refill our crash cart trays, post-up trays that are for procedures, for surgery. We have rapid response trays. Those are used also for the emergency room. Every technician has their own duties, but then we also have technicians that are assigned to those specific duties. On the next slide, we have the temp truck monitoring. Temp truck monitoring is a Wi-Fi system that we have. It monitors all the refrigerators. If the temperatures go out of range, it sends us an alert via email, via text message, and it tells us like, okay, this refrigerator in this unit went out of range. For instance, if it's refrigerator, it has to be 36 to 46. If it goes below or above, they'll send us a message, and we have to go and verify the meds are within range and that we're good to use them into our patients. If they're not, then we have to, take our process of like discarding or doing the proper disposal. On the next slide, we'll have the Pacman. Pacman and the Pacman canisters. What this Pacman does is, if you've gone to like Walmart or HEB and you see those bottles, right, of Tylenol and stuff, those we cannot send a whole bottle like they do at retail. Here we have a wristband kind of process that we have to scan you the wristband when you come in, and then we have to scan the med. So that's where Pacman comes in. This machine pre-packages everything for you, and it has a little barcode. So now that barcode will come together with your badge, and your badge is saying, okay, this is for so-and-so, this is the med that you're taking. So this Pacman has over 500 drugs in there. In the next slide, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's a canister in the bulk bottle. So the bottle, which is right there of the aspirin, you throw it into the little canister and you tell her how much you need. It packages for you. Then it's ready for you to take it up to the unit and administer to the patient. We do a lot of that every day. We're constantly, getting bottles, and we're having to package them to send them to the unit. The next slide, we'll have the compounding mortar and pestle, which you've probably seen, sometimes in TV, or I don't know if they'll show them like at school, but if you do go within the pharmacy, you'll have to do a lot of compounding, either if it's at the hospital or at retail. We compound a lot of tablets and liquids and make them into oral suspensions. So you see a lot of that, at the pharmacies, because we have to do a lot of compounding with tablets, liquids, and also creams for patients that, cannot swallow. So we'll have to compound them into liquid. The next slide, you'll see our IV lab. We do a lot of IV compounding here at the hospital. We do chemotherapy. We do antibiotics. We do so many compounding here. And as you could see here, we have our IV lab. It's sterile compounding. There's multiple stages. As you go in, there is the clean area, then there's the prep area, and then, of course, the hazardous, which is all your chemotherapy towards the back. And we have to follow the proper PPE once you go in there, such as, wearing shoe covers, masks, hairnet, gloves, and all that, in order to be able to go into that area. The next slide, we have the narcotic room. The narcotic room is where all your controlled substances are at. All the secured meds. There's a door. We have to go in with a badge because it's secured. And then once in the room, it's all biomed. So with your little finger, you have to put it in there, log in with a code, and then you'll access all your controlled substances. Controlled substance are your medications that have to be secured. And retails, they have to be, approved by doctors and you need an extra prescription and different process, in order to get access of those medications. They usually only supply a certain amount of, days, not like your other refills that you constantly get refills. These are more, restricted, and that's why we have doubled doored in order to access those medications. The other slide, you'll see the med carousels. We have an automated system here at the hospital. They all communicate with each other. Med carousel communicates with the Pacman that I previously showed you. So we have max and mins. So we have a total, for instance, of like 30 and a minimum of 15. Once it goes below 15, your med carousel will tell your Pacman, hey, we're low, we need more. So then we unidose it. It comes back to your med carousel. We have 4 med carousels here at the DHR main and another one at Women's. So what it does, it moves. You tell the machine, okay, I need Tylenol. The machine automatically moves like if it were like a vending machine, and it tells you Tylenol is here. It'll have a little red dot and it tells you, okay, Tylenol's here. You get it out. Of course, you verify that the medication is exactly what you're wanting. And then scan it out, send it back to the unit or to the patient that needs it. The last slide would be your pneumatic tube system. It's like the bank. So if you pass through the bank, you put your, slip, you need this and that. It's similar to this, but here we use it to tube medications. It's hospital-wide, so we could tube meds to any unit in the hospital. It also goes underground to our sister pharmacy, which is at Women's. It's right across Dove or McCall. Sorry. And we send medications underground to our sister pharmacy and all hospital-wide. All of our stat medications, which are like urgent and immediate meds, that's what we use our tube system. And it's really nice and very, convenient for us because we won't have to, do just like deliveries, that could probably take us a sorry about the difficulty on the. So, like we were talking about the tube system. So tube systems are awesome. They help us a lot, with like delivering medications and sending stat doses to the floors. This is a little preview of what the pharmacy looks like and some of the duties that technicians have to, encounter like every day that we come in. We do a little bit of everything. Like I said, every technician has their assigned duty, but we are a team, so we all work together. If we're done with trays, restocking med carousels, we always help each other, to make our day like smoother and make the work easier for everyone. I know the pharmacy tech program is being offered in many high schools, and there's also a lot of vocational schools that offer it. If you're interested, with the pharmacy, I would, talk to you, maybe your counselor, and get ahead, of yourself, maybe. So that when you get out, you already have something to look for. As a pharmacy technician, all I could say is, we look for like being multitask because there's so many different duties that, you have to do at once. Phone call, like med requests, deliveries, code blues, and all this stuff. So, being a multitask would be like the biggie, a customer service, even as a retail, a hospital and retail are a little bit different, but they still come together. We're all here to, take care of patients. Customer service, our customers here are our doctors, our nurses. Those are our customers because we don't directly speak to patients, right? At retail, you do have to interact with your patients. So customer service is a big, in both areas if you would like to go to a retail or hospital. Being responsible, punctual, always wanting to go over and beyond, helping others because it's just going to make the work easier for each one of us. If I think we have some questions. So again, if you want to submit any questions, by scanning the QR code on the screen or by going to www.menti.com and use the access code that I mentioned, 5313 3911, we'll have some questions here, and I'll start. What is retail? So a retail pharmacy is like an HEB, Walmart, privately owned pharmacies. We have many like pharmacies that like maybe Apple, Science. There's so many privately owned pharmacies. So that's a retail, and where you would like interact with patients, when you go to Walmart and you're like in the aisles and looking for Tylenol, the technicians or pharmacists will probably approach you and be like, you need any help? That's a retail versus like a hospital basis where we work, when it's like all these big hospitals. So that's a retail. Okay, so how old you have to be to become an intern or work at a pharmacy? Okay, so when you're at high school, they already offer you the pharmacy technician program. You could become a pharmacy tech immediately graduating after high school. You just have to take advantage of the programs. You come and do your practicum hours here at the hospital, so you could put hands on and see what it is, and see if like this is what you want to pursue. But they do offer it. So immediately out of high school, you could become a pharmacy technician. If you wait a little bit longer, then there's a lot of vocational schools that offer it, out there. And there's really, I guess 18 and above, you could become a pharmacy tech or I enjoy what I do. Yes, I do enjoy it. Like I mentioned before, I've been a pharmacy technician for already 17 years. There's a lot to learn. Everything has changed from when I started till now. Back then, it was like bins and you had to go and grab your meds, based in alphabetical order. Now everything's automated. There's Pyxis machines, there's med carousels, there's Pacman. Everything's like pretty awesome because like they all communicate. So now it's like if you start from here, everything will tell you exactly where to go, versus how it was back then. So yes, I do love what I do. Okay. How much studying did it take? It took me, from back then when I went to school, it was a lot because I was like working and going to school. But if you love what you do, like anything's possible. You learn how to like mix both things, and when it's time to focus at work, when it's time to focus in school. It is a lot, but if you love it, like you'll do great. You'll manage how to like do both work and school. I do not work directly with patients. Yes and no. Well, yes, I guess I should go back and say we do have some positions here as a pharmacy technician that you do interact with the patients. We have a med reconciliation technician. They review your home meds. So when you come in a hospital, you need to bring your medications. We review them. We verify, what you're taking. And stuff. So yes, there is some positions here. We do interact with patients directly, but the majority of the time we're kind of like at the back where we dispense your meds. We make sure you have your IVs. We make sure we take care of you, and that you get everything you need in order for you to get better and go home. So we kind of do have that interaction, but not as much as if you were nursing. How I gained my position as a supervisor. So I started as a technician here like 12 years ago. After 2 years of being a technician and working hard and wanting to get more and more involved into projects and duties, responsibilities, that's a lateral scale. Like if you want to become somebody bigger and with like, you could always do it. I encourage, like if you want to keep on going, you could always keep on going, and you'll get there. It is more responsibilities, but I love them. I love teaching my technicians. When students come, I like to show them. I like to be a mentor. I love my position as a supervisor, and like I encourage us, with time and with experience, you could always get wherever you want to get, and I love being a supervisor. I also do the technician duties. So as a supervisor, you have to be capable of knowing what the technicians do. Why? Because as a supervisor, you have to know every single aspect or every single part of a technician. So yes, I do assist. I do help. I work together. Like I said, we are a team here, so we work together in order to get the work done. Sometimes we have good days. Sometimes we have bad days. So yes, I as a supervisor, you do have to know every single responsibility, and I also work. I do technician duties as well. When the refrigerator is red, that means it's out of range. Good question. So what we do, we have to make sure that we go to that unit, verify the medications are within the temperature. If they're not, we need to immediately remove them. We need to do a ticket. Our biomed staffing come look at it. Either they move the temperature up or they move it down. If the refrigerator needs to be replaced, then we'll replace it. But yes, the red means it's out of range, and we have to follow our process in place. Okay. A favorite task to do. As a supervisor or like a technician, when we come in, first thing is like, okay, like look at our area, uh, you know, um, supervise and see, okay, if there's any trays that need to get done, if there's any medications that need to be delivered. So my first duty as I come in is like what I see first, if there's any medications, Pix's medications that need to go. Clean the area and make sure that everything's being done, or if there's anything that hasn't been done, follow up and see exactly what's the reason why it hasn't gone out. My job, it's not difficult. It's just, you have to kind of multitask a lot, and see exactly, you need to prioritize and be like, okay, yes, we have 10 things I need to get done today, but we're going to start with this first one second, and you go. So you just have to manage and see exactly what is it that you have to do first, and slowly, get to all your other 9 duties that you have to do. So it's not difficult. You just have to manage and know how to, like, take them step by step. Okay. Let me see if I have any more questions. So yes, chemistry and math. Yes, you have to know both of them. You do have to deal with a lot of, like, milligrams, calculate patient's weight, adding, subtracting. So yeah, the basic stuff, you will deal with that, and chemistry as well. Like I said, you have to do a lot of compounding, make tablets and liquid to a liquid, liquid tablets and liquid, yeah, to make the liquid form, or creams and stuff. So yes, you do have to have both of them involved, to for the pharmacy technician duties. You have to confirm, doses, and make sure that what you're doing is right. It's a pharmacy technician certificate, and like I mentioned, you could get it straight out of high school, or you could go to any vocational school and they'll offer it for you. I would take advantage of that. You know, you're already getting out of high school with like your certification as a pharmacy technician, and you could start from there. You know, pursuing a profession and then seeing if that's what you are looking for. But I encourage, you know, a lot of you all to take advantage if it's being offered at your schools. How has your job changed since COVID? It has changed a lot. There is a lot of policies and, you know, a lot of processes that we had to change, you know, due to COVID. Vaccines, you know, of course, wearing our mask. I'm not wearing it right now because there's nobody around me, but, you know, we have to wear a mask now. We had to move things around from the pharmacy because we cannot sit, you know, next to each other. A lot of the PPE, which is like the attire that we have to wear when we go to some units because, you know, they're COVID. So we have to have, you know, the proper protection to go to some places. Work got a little bit, you know, busy. We're administering vaccines too. So yes, it did change a lot, you know, from like the pharmacy itself and everything around us, you know, nursing and everything. So it did change. It was a big impact, but we've been able to manage it. We've been able to work with it, and you know, we as a team work together to make it happen and fight together, you know, COVID-19. So it did change a lot in so many ways. Let me see. Yes, I do. I do like our boss. Our boss is very understandable. He works well with all of us. He is a great leader. And yeah, you have to be at a place where you like, you know, your director. He has, you know, a lot on his plate, and you know, as a pharmacy technician, like you do have to, you know, get along with all your coworkers. And yes, I do like my boss. Okay, guys. So once again, my name is Veronica Hernandez. I'm one of the pharmacy supervisors here at DHR Health. Like I mentioned, if you are interested into the pharmacy technician profession, I recommend you talk to your counselor and, you know, get ahead of yourself. And let her know, you know what, I'm interested, and you know, take whatever steps you need to take, you know, in order to be a pharmacy technician, and then, you know, pursue that profession. Thank you, guys.